Good evening. Tonight we're going to do Module 3, Lesson 28. I can represent and solve three-digit dividend division with divisors of 2, 3, 4, and 5 numerically. All right, so here we have a whole thing going on here with 297 divided by 4. And we're going to be using the place value chart and then show step by step of how we're going to use long division and then finally check. So we need to take 297 and break it up into the hundreds, the tens, and the ones, and then use this dividing, since we're dividing by 4, we need to make 4 groups. Like that's what we've usually have been doing. And then we're going to show the step-by-step process of how we're doing long division. So if we go back to that 200, we cannot break up those two because we would have to have 100 here, 100 here, and 100 here, and 100 here, and we can't do that because there's only 2. So we need to cash those into the tens. So I'm going to cash in one of these hundreds for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take this last 100, cash it in for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I have 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 tens. So now I'm going to take those 29 tens and split them up equally in 4 groups because we are dividing by 4. Okay, so let's start counting to 29. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Stop. We were able to use up all of these tens, but we are left with 1 10 left over because that 1 10 cannot fit in the 4 groups. He's left out. So we need to cash him into the ones, and when we do that, we're going to get 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 more ones. Here's 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So now we're left with 17 ones, and we're going to split up the 17 ones into 4 equal groups. Now, if we come over here and we check to see what we were doing over here, notice that we couldn't do 4 into 2. So we couldn't do that. So we need to cash those 200s into the tens. And when we did that, we got 29. And we end up getting 29 tens, and we split them up equally into 4 groups, but we were only able to fit 28. And we had 1 left over. So how many times can set of 4 go into 28? Well, if you look in each group has 7. So 4 times 7 is 28. And when we subtract 29 and 28, we get a 1. And that's where we get this one. But we cashed it over in here, and now we're left with 17. So now we need to take 17 and divide it by 4. So let's see what we can get inside each group when we divide up 17 into 4 equal groups. So let's do it. Let's take all those 17. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Stop. We were able to use up all 16, but we have a remainder of 1. And if you look back over here, we were able to split up 4 in each group. We got 16. So 4 goes into 17 only 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. And when we subtract, we get a remainder of 1. So 297 divided by 4 is 74, remainder 1. And as always, we need to check. And what's the inverse operation of division? Multiplication. 74 divided by 4, 74 times 4 is 296. That's not what we have here yet. but we needed to add on the remainder to get 297. So we did this correct. This is a step-by-step of long division using the place value chart to help us step each way. Our next question is, how many weeks are there in 1 year? And, well, we know that there are 365 days. So now we have to say, how many weeks are there in 1 year? So if we're thinking how many days are there in a week, we need to think that there are 7 days in a week and there's 365 days in a whole year. So we're using what we call, remember, a tape diagram to represent this problem. This is representing 365 days. One section of this is equal to 7 days, and hopefully through this tape diagram and the operation of division, we can figure out how many weeks there are in a year. So let's try to use our place value chart to represent this problem. So let's start taking and splitting up 365 into the proper place on the place value chart. So we have 3 hundredths, we have 6 tens, and we have 5 ones. Okay, so let's make our group there. And guys, since we're dividing by 7, we need to make 7 groups. Let's get this long. And we've got 1 and 2. Okay, so now we're going to take 365 and we are going to break it up into the hundredths, the tens, and the ones. And you notice that we have a 3, and that goes here, 3 hundredths. We have a 6, and that goes into 6 tens, and that goes 5 ones. And we're breaking it up into 7 groups. But if you notice, there's only 3. So we cannot take these 3 and break it up into 7 groups. So we need to cash each one of these hundredths into the tens. So let's take this 100 and break it up into tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's take this 100, break it up into tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this last 100, break it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now we've got 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So we're going to take these 36 tens and break them up into 7 groups. So let's start counting up with 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Uh-oh. That means that we have one of these ones that do not fit in this group. So what we must do is we must take one of these tens and bring it over to the ones. Okay, so now that we're going to take this 110 and bring it over to the ones, now we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we have 15 ones, and we break it up into 7 groups. So let's count to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We cannot fit this one. All the ones get taken away, and we have a remainder of 1 because this 1 does not fit in with the rest. So how many tens do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens, and we've got 1, 2, 52, and we have remainder 1. Okay, now that we did a place value chart representing 365 divided by 7, let's do the long division. Remember the steps. Sorry. It is division, multiplication, subtraction, bring down, and remainder. But many times when we bring down, we got to go back up to division. And in this problem, we're going to have to do that. So let's look at this. 7. Can 7 go into the 300s? No, it can't. So we're just going to put an X there as a placeholder. Can 7 go into 36? Yes, it can. It can go in 5 times. Now we use division. Now we go to multiplication. 5 times 7 is 35. And then after we do that, we go to subtraction. And we are left with 1. Okay, now we need to bring down. Bring down the 5. Now we have 15. And now we must go back to division. 7 goes into 15. How many times? It can go in twice. Now we go back to multiplication. 2 times 7 is 14. Then we go to subtraction. And we are left with a remainder. How we know a remainder? Because there's nothing left to bring down. So this again is 52, remainder 1. Just like we did over here in the place value chart. 52, remainder 1. We get it in the long division. In our last problem tonight, we're going to do a word problem. Selena's dog completed an obstacle course that was 932 meters long. There were 4 parts to the course, all equal in length. How long was one part of the course? So here's our total. The course was 132 meters long. That's our total. And lots of times when they give us a total, we know we're going to divide. And then they're talking about 4 parts that are equal in length. And they want to know how long one part of it. Well, I'm going to look at this as a tape diagram. It's going to make our tape. And this whole thing right here is going to be the total, 932 meters long. And they want to separate this into 4 equal parts, right? So there's a part, 1, here's a part, here's a part, and here's a part. And we want to know how much is just one of those parts. Well, we're going to divide, and we are going to divide 932, and we're going to divide that by 4. Now, boys and girls, you can do long division with this. You could do the place value chart with the discs. Whatever you choose to do, whatever you're more comfortable with, you choose which way is best for you. I'm going to do long division. So I see 4 can go into 9. It can go into the 900 2 times. Then 2 times 4 is 8. When we subtract, we're left with 1. Bring down the 3. 4 can go into 13. 3 times 4 is 12. We subtract, we're left with 1. Got to bring down again. We have a 2. 4 can go into 12 3 times. So each one of these lengths, parts of these courses, of this course, tape diagram, is 233, 233, 233, and 233 meters long each, because they're each equal in length, and they are a total of 932. But remember, we always want to check using the inverse operation. The inverse operation division is multiplication. So let's check. 233 times 4. And we want to make sure that we get this answer right here, 932. 932, the number that's inside that division house. So 3 times 4 is 12, put the 2, carry the 1. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1, 13, carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And look at that, 932, 932. We did it right. It's not so much about being the best, it's more about trying your best. All right, do the next couple of problems and see how you do. Try your best. 378 divided by 2. You could either do a place value chart with the place value discs, or do long division, whatever you choose. 795 divided by 3. Either do the place value chart with the place value discs, or use long division. And our last problem. A cartoon of milk contains 128 ounces. Sarah's son drinks 4 ounces of milk at each meal. How many 4-ounce servings will 1 carton of milk provide? Excellent job tonight, guys. We'll practice more of this tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening.